Okay, so this is what we made last time. See if you can figure it out. We're struggling so far. We have just the letters. When we unscramble it, it spells out something. What else can we do with those? What are some answers you tried? We tried candy. It didn't work. Didn't work for candy? Think a little bit. So what's related to candy on this page? All the information is on this page. Do you want a hint? You're getting nowhere? Okay, look at the images on this page. Maybe they're useful. Let me give you a hint. It's a number. It's too easy. You didn't process that the answer could have been 6? I counted 6 candies. There's 6, I swear. And if you picked up the key, you can open up the treasure chest. Hello and welcome. How are you doing? Oh yeah, it's Supernova. Our lovely friend Supernova. We read her story last week, but she wasn't here. So, yeah, we're just chilling right now. You have an idea what you want to do? Not really? So, all of you guys are confused? You want to get more followers? That's what you want? Write more stories and then you'll get more followers. So yeah, last time we checked out her personality test story, but she's also done some other ones as well. And I guess she's working on a new story. So just so you guys know, it's not out yet, but I'm really excited when it does come out, is that we are having a new feature for our functions. So for example, right now you can make an object move to a specific part of the page, right? Using the, not this one, using the move to point block. So the move to point block, you have to specify the X and Y coordinates. So maybe on page start's not the best. Or maybe on click's not the best. I'll do on page start, and I'll just, get some random, I don't know, toothpaste or cake. I like cake. Did you guys have lunch? I had dinner. It was pretty delicious. I had fried rice. No? What is that? It's a place? What kind of place? What kind of food does this place have? It's a place. 875, 130. So yeah, I can make it like 875 and 130. Why haven't you eaten anything, You're like, I didn't eat breakfast or lunch. Couldn't find anything. Now that is a sad time when you can't find anything in the fridge. Oh, that's sad. That is very sad. When I was in high school, my mom did she went on a strike, I guess. So she was like, I'm not doing anything in the house anymore. I'm not cooking, I'm not buying groceries, I'm not doing anything. And she was like, I'm done. You guys are hopeless. And then she just like went off and like watched like Naruto or something for like 24 hours straight. And so I had nothing in the fridge, and it was very sad because I lived in Arizona and the grocery store is like miles away and I couldn't drive. So yeah, that sucks indeed. So yeah, you can move it to a specific place. But we're gonna actually, hopefully next week, we're gonna be able to put this as a variable. So you'll actually be able to say like variable. Oh, why can you not see me? Oh, that's a great question. I'm like here, like showing everything, and you guys don't see anything that I'm showing. Okay. Okay, there we go. Alright, great. Thank you. I was gonna go through the whole thing being like, okay, everyone sees me, everything's fine. Hi. Also, there we go. Okay. Oh, I have to set up the camera here as well. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we have blocks like move to point, and right now we can only put a constant value. So right now we can only put a number value that is like 0, -5, 500, etc. But next week or something like that, we'll be able to put variables. So then you can make your dragon fly randomly across the page and then click on it whenever he randomly goes to a certain place. And the cool thing is for narrative game design, I'm really excited about this. But you know, we have the go to page block and we love this block. Right now we have origin, which is going, it will redirect you to the previous page you went to, but we'll also be able to have the variables in the drop down as well. So right now you see origin and 2, and then there's going to be a line, and if there's variables that are number variables, then you'll see that the variables here, and you'll be able to use that. So this is really cool because then you can really create like branching loops and things like that. I'm really excited about that, and we're hoping to get that out next week. So those are just some updates on the coding side to make things more, I guess, interesting. So yeah. How many of you guys, Angel hasn't played Cluedo or Clue or that board game. Have you played that board game? The detective mystery board game where you have to like search for the killer sort of thing. It's like, you have 8 people. Oh my god, I feel so old. Last time I had a session, I was like called like a boomer, and I'm like, wow, I'm not that old, guys, yet. Anyway. All you zoomers. Yeah, so I wanted to do something that's more like a detective sort of escape room because we had Angel hasn't played an escape room ever, and I was like, oh, maybe we can do something like that, or we can just, I don't know, explore something else. What do you guys want to do? Or we could do some sort of challenge of some sort. Up to you guys. You have 2 choices: challenges of some sort versus trying to create a detective thing. You want to do a challenge? You always want to do challenges. Okay, so let's do a really simple challenge. And do you know how to do a countdown timer already? You don't? I saw that you tried. But we can do an extension on the countdown timer. Let's do that because I think countdown timers are really fun because you can add them and make people anxious. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pick out the countdown timer. And I'm not going to show you the presentation. We're going to try to just code it ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and remix the workbook. If you want to do it yourself, you can remix it here. The link is in the description here. And I'm going to go ahead and click remix and see if we can do the countdown timer. So I guess first I have to show you what the countdown timer looks like, right? So let's actually do that first before we figure out how to connect all the blocks together. The countdown timer is very simple. Basically, we are just going to count down. So it's going to go from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, so that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to do a countdown timer, and this can be really great for whenever you do quizzes or you want to have people make a choice within a certain amount of time period. I can also see it being used in a really fun way where maybe you want the reader to make an instinctive decision about something, like a this or that, and they have to figure it out. And of course, you can also use it to add to a personality test. So, yeah, last week we actually did personality tests, and we did stuff with score, adding a value to, or making your personality test based upon a score. So yeah, and unfortunately the video wasn't able to be recorded because I accidentally checked the YouTube 360. So then when like you looked at the video, my face was just like all over the place. But at some point I'll have that up. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the timer. Obviously at the very beginning we see the mustache or the curly bracket. So let's review. What are variables? Explain. Go. What are variables? Explain it to a third grader. Also, what grades are we in? I don't even remember. They are boxes that hold info. Really? Sixth? Wait, Angel, what about you? You're also? Oh, both of you are in sixth. Awesome. So perfect. So there are boxes that hold information, and we can use these curly brackets as a placeholder. And I like to call them mustaches because I can. And it is technical. So it is a technical term. So let's go to the back side, and we notice we're using these blue blocks, and we haven't really used the blue ones so much. We've used the red ones, and the red ones are the text variables. But this time we're going to use a number variable because we want to decrement, which means to decrease by a value. So decrement, we have a block here, decrement variable. And if we look here, you also have increment variable. So what do you think increment means? Yeah, so increment is to increase. So we can increase by a value. And by default, it's 0. So the first thing we want to change is how much are we decreasing by? What's the value for a decrement variable? What's the value? It's not 0, let me tell you that. Okay, 1. So we want to decrement by 1. Okay, so we have all our blocks here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to first have you guys write down the algorithm or the instructions for what we're going to do. So let's first think about it. When we have the timer, what number does it start? We can choose any number, by the way. So choose a number of where it starts. So we want to start from 5. Okay, so we're going to start from 5, and then what happens? What do we tell the computer to do? 5. And then it explodes. Okay, so 5. So it's like 5 and then it explodes. We need something else. Come on, 5. Angel, help me out here. You can unmute yourself if you don't want to type, or type if you don't want to unmute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, explode. Okay. So we're going to decrement by 1. We're going to decrease the value by 1 because 5 minus 4 is 1, so that's how we're going to go down. We're going to decrement by 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's think about what the computer is actually doing. Is there a loop anywhere? Do we repeat something? What are we repeating? You repeat the decrement. So let's take a look at everything. And what I want you to do is, well, first we have to create a variable. That's the first step because we don't have a variable. And in this case, we're going to call it timer because it has to match exactly whatever is in the front. So timer here, timer in the back. Perfect. So who wants to help me connect blocks together? Can you guys do that or no? I don't think I could share with you guys. Nobody has devices that allows me to. Nope. Okay, that's fine. Let's go through and talk it out for me. So what do we connect? So we have to initiate the value of the variable. So we need to make it start somewhere, right? It doesn't start like if I preview here, it's 0. We don't want it to be 0. So on page start, we need to set the value. We need to first set the value before we decrement anything. We have to set the value. And we want to set the value of timer to 5 because we want to start from 5. Okay, so now let's do the loop. The loop is down here. So up here, we don't loop. We don't loop this. This is initial. We loop this part. And this is the decrement. So on page start, wait 1 second because we're going to wait 1 second. And then we're going to decrement the variable by 1. So if I just show you this, I have 5 and then 4, and then it stops because we're not looping anything. So we want to loop this. And we're going to loop it how many times? Infinity. We're going to loop it 5 times. So I'm going to preview. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we have it doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but we want the explode or the go to next page, things like that to happen. So we need to put a wait again, but we don't want to put it in the loop because we don't want to be waiting here. We want to put it up here. And what we want to do is we're going to wait a certain amount of time and then do whatever we need to do. So in this case, it could be go to page 3 where it says time is up, or you can do whatever you want. Make a dragon fly across the page, scream something really loud, up to you. So how long do we wait? Okay, we wait 5 seconds. And then we go to page 3. So I'm going to preview. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Perfect. So here's a challenge. Okay, so what if I want to make it wait or to do a countdown for, let's say, like 2 minutes? How do I do that? Or like even 1 minute and 1 second? Because remember here in my loop, I only go up to 60. So what can I do? Do we have an idea? So this is the extra challenge question. 60 is the limit. So if I want to do 2-minute timer, I can add another weight. Where should I add the weight? You're just saying things. Add a weight. Pro tip, when you're taking those like math competition examinations, the answer is always like 1, 0, or -1. Yeah, just to let you know, for like high school, when you get there and you want to do those math Olympiad competitions, when you don't know the answer, just put 1, 0, or -1. You're more than likely to get the answer somewhat right. So, no. So we do have to do something with the weight, that's for sure. And what we want to do is, let's see, instead of waiting 1 second, we can wait 2 seconds. So let's do an example where we start with 10. We want to do 10. And we want to decrement by now how much? 1. We're going to wait 2 seconds. So we want to decrement by 2 in this case. So this is going to be the same because 5 times 2 is equal to 10. And let's preview this and see how it works. So in this way, we can use less loops here, and we can create timers that are like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, things like that. So that was really, really quick because I coded everything basically. But hopefully you guys were able to catch that and get it and be able to use it in your stories. You made one? You did it yourself? Awesome. Woot woot. So, do we have any questions about the countdown timer at this point? Perfect. So, let's explore maybe let's see. Do we have any ideas on what we want to do next? Nope. Okay, well, we're going to figure things out as we go. Let's see. We can do... Do we use random number before? I think so, at the very, very beginning. Maybe. But I don't know if you guys were there. I used random number. Have we used this block at all? Or have you used it? Okay, so random number is really cool because it adds an extra dimension to your story to make it more random. Because the reason why games are fun is because there's a sense of randomness to it. It's not always the same, right? If you can predict what's going to happen, then it's not so much fun anymore. It gets kind of boring after a while. So we can do the same thing with our stories by having a random number. And we can make it so the variable has a random number. So were you guys here when I did an RPG example, like a role-playing game example? No? No? Is that a no as in no right now, or did I just look at it wrong? I see so many no's. Yes, you never finished it. Oh yeah, so we never finished that one. Do we use random number in that? Maybe? Oh, we didn't use random number in that. Okay, so it's similar to the RPG. And I'm just gonna grab, I don't know, some character of some sort. Oh no. Mr. Harp dude. And what we can do is we can basically simulate, this is what role-playing games do. So if you're not familiar with role-playing games, like they basically, you play a character and you go through, usually have different stats, things like that. So what we want to do is oftentimes we want to put some randomness to it, or maybe at the very beginning of the story you want the reader to basically choose which stat they want to maybe maximize, because you can't have a character at the very beginning that is like completely 10 out of 10 in all of the categories, right? That's a little bit too overpowered and kind of ruins the game. So what kind of RPGs do you play? Is Angel here? I feel like we're just chatting here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to create a variable. Minecraft cattails. I never really got into Minecraft. I think it was just ugly for me. I ended up playing Dragon Quest, which is like Minecraft but cuter. And I got into that a lot more. You like Minecraft? Yeah, I know a lot of people like Minecraft. I just never got into it personally. Yeah, Dragon Quest Builder, it's just so cute. Like everything about it is just cute. So that's my go-to when it comes to building buildings and stuff. And I'm not very like creative, so it's really hard for me when it comes to building things. So let's just say strength, because that's like a common stat. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is cute too. I never really got too much into Animal Crossing though. I was really into, what was the game called? I can see it in my head, but I don't remember what it's called. It's a lot like the farming simulator game, but like cute. Rune Factory? Yeah, Rune Factory. Okay, so on page start, we can give this guy a random strength value, and we could put a min and a max number. So let's just make it easy, and we say min is 0, max is 10, something like that. So we can view it here like so. So here strength is 0, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new button called reroll. Where's my buttons? Here they are. I think Supernova asked you a question. Do you see in the chat? And I'm going to do the same thing here. You forgot? Okay, so we have strength is 5, and for some reason this is blue. Why is it blue? It's kind of awkward. Ah, there we go. So I can re-roll this value, and then we can later use this value elsewhere in the story. Like if the strength is, for example, less than I don't know, the monster, then you get like pummeled and you lose. Why is your name not capitalized? I think it's because it just uncapitalizes everything, so that's why your name's not capitalized on elementary. So for example, let's take a look. So we have strength like this. And the very typical example of it would be, let's get some sort of creepy looking monster. Creatures. Do I have anything? These aren't really that scary or creepy. If I type creepy, does something happen? Oh, why can I reroll my strength? I like this one. You weren't looking. Okay, so basically I can reroll my strength because I just wanted to show you how the random number generator works. So when I do on click, I just set variable equals to random number. The minimum is 0, the maximum is 10. That's basically how it works. So what you can do is you can have the reader choose maybe like what they want to prioritize. So prior to this, you might have something like I don't know, like change the font. Brave adventure. What, I don't know, do you choose? So you have something like this at the very beginning of your story. And then you might have like 3 choices. So for example, I want to choose strength, or I want to choose, let's say, intelligence. And the third one can be, I don't know, I want to choose, I don't know, what's common? Charisma. So you were trying to fix your story speed. Were you able to get that all set up and settled? And then based upon your choice here, you can then go to different min and max values. So speed, one of the options. Oh, that's good. You could run away faster. So, like for example, if I choose strength, then one way I can do it is I don't need to have 1 billion pages. I can make it so strength, intelligence, and speed go into different pages, but I could also make it so it's just a variable. So for example, like let's call this variable, let's make it a text variable. We could compare the text values. So we can call this like choice, my choice. And then I would say, like, when I click on strength, intelligence, and speed, set the variable equal to choice. Or to variable text, set the variable equal to strength, intelligence, speed. I can't speak at all today. I'm having such a hard time speaking. Like this, and then like this. And then what we can do is we can set the variable equal to a value. So we can just make this strength. Intelligence, and the last one is speed. So let's make sure that we have here, we know what choice it is. And we're going to create intelligence speed. So basically the cool thing with the new update for when the go to page block is out is that later on you can even have an inventory kind of or like a map that you can refer to throughout the story over time and always like go there and come back. So that's kind of fun. Intel speed. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I just deleted it. That's not good. That was not what I wanted to do. Intel speed. Okay. So then what we can do is we can do something a little bit more sophisticated. So let me get rid of the reroll. And we can do something like on page start, I want to compare the text. So this is just multiple if statements. If the choice is equal to strength, so I chose strength, then maybe I want my strength to be between 5 and 10. Else, so I'm going to get another one of these compare text blocks. So it's not strength. What if it's Intel? If it's Intel, then I want to make Intel 5 to 10. And if I choose, what's the last one? Speed? Then, you know, I'm just going to copy paste 5 to 10 speed. So we have a bit of a problem here. Can you figure out what the problem is with my code right now? Let me give you a hint. So basically, let's take the case I choose strength. My strength is 5, or between 5 and 10. But what about my intelligence and my speed? Do I care about those? Or we make them 0? Make them 2? So if we want to make them 2, we have to do some extra code. If we just want to keep them at 0, then we're done pretty much. Well, this is 5. But we can make it 2, for example. So let's actually initialize. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move this over. There's a couple ways you can actually code this. There's no like real way to code it. But I'm going to show you the one that uses kind of like the least amount of blocks. And that is when we initialize so we set the variables at the very beginning. That's what initialize basically means. So I use initialize often because that's the technical term, is like we're going to initialize the variable, which means we're going to set the initial value. So just so you guys have an idea of what that means. And I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to create 3 of these. And this is going to be strength, intel, speed. And the maximum, let's put it from 0 to 2. Or 0 to 5 instead. Or 0 to 4. So we know for sure that it's setting it up properly. Okay, so on page start, we're going to initialize our variables. So this is like the default, you suck at everything sort of state. And then we compare to see what choice you made. So depending upon your choice, you'll get a buff. And then that variable or that specific choice variable will have an increase. Hey, you're supposed to suck at everything at the beginning of the RPG. The whole point is to go through like the hero's journey, you know, to become OP at the very end, but you have to start kind of sucky. Otherwise, you don't have any place and room to grow. Some of the most played games are games where you literally just die. Like, it's so hard. You just keep dying over and over and over and over again. Until you figure out exactly how to beat it, or maybe you get enough buffs from leveling up, things like that. So I'm going to preview. We'll make sure that it works. Actually, I'm on the wrong page to preview it, so we need to go here. Brave Adventure, what do you choose? I choose Intelligence. Oh, I need to go to a page, so I choose Intelligence. My Intelligence is 4. Why is my Intelligence 4? Let's take a look. If I choose Intelligence, it should be between 5 and 10. Did I spell it wrong? Intel. Ah, it's because it's not going here. You see that? Okay, so never mind. This is a really bad way of doing it. Because you see, let's see. Variable equals strength. Actually, let's try again. Intelligence is 1. So we're not setting it up properly. Let's see why it's not working very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my compare text. I feel like maybe it's not waiting long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a delay to make sure that the computer is waiting long enough that the variable has actually changed. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. Intelligence is 2, speed is 0, strength. Speed is, strength is 8. It changed, okay? That's good. Why is intelligence not working? Intelligence is not working. What about speed? Speed is not working. Could it be because I connected it to... So, if the choice is strength, it's going here. Else, the choice compares to Intel. If it's exactly it, let's do another test really quick. So Intel, let's fade this in if it gets it. Strength was first and strength was working, but the other two weren't working so well. So we're trying to figure out why the other two are not working. You see, we're not going to the else state, Ah. To here. We're not going to the exact here. So why could that be? Let's see. Variable choice is equal to this. What if I get rid of this? Why is some weird stuff happening to my code? I had like extra lines. So let's see if we can make it work better, hopefully now. Preview. Oh, that would be why. Okay. Reload the page. Maybe that's why it wasn't working so well. Okay, let's go back and see what was going on. Did you have any trouble when you were creating your stories? With weird page saves or things breaking? So I don't know why it's not cascading this. I'm going to investigate that. We changed some stuff, so let's see. The next button teleport to the top left. That's weird. Like in the 0, 0 position here. Ah. Yeah, if you could write down any of the problems that you're experiencing and let me know, that way we can try to figure out and fix it. So I don't know why this isn't working too well. I'll figure it out later and we'll check it out next time. But it should be working, so I'm not sure why it's not. We'll see. Maybe I coded things wrong. Sometimes I'm really dumb and I do things. I'm like, oh, never mind. I messed up. Sorry, guys. It was on the layout. Do you have any trouble with the coding section? Not yet. Okay. So let's see if we can find a different way of doing this. We can actually do it. What if I use, instead of text variables, number variables or booleans? Well, I'll try it out next time. We'll take a look at it next time. In the meantime, I do also want to share with you that I'm working with an escape room specialist. So his job is literally to create escape rooms for educational institutions, the government, tourism, things like that. So we're going to be making some videos on escape rooms in particular. And we took a look at one very simple way that you can make an escape room, which is with the colored letters. So remember that one where we have a message. Here's a message. And we have the colored letters. So that's a really easy one to do. Another one that's really fun is called a timeline. I guess a timeline escape, timeline riddle. And the idea behind that one is basically you'll have, it could be in the picture, you have different clues with different dates. And then you have like an arrow. So let me get an arrow and just show you how it kind of works really quickly. So let's get this nice pink arrow out. And, well, I guess that doesn't work very well. I guess it'll go left to right. And the idea behind it is we're going to get some boxes. So I'm going to use buttons because buttons make easy boxes. And we'll have like a question mark. So if we're dealing with dates or year, like let's say the year, we'll have 4 because like we'll have like 2020. And then we'll have like 1999, things like that. So you'll have something like this. And If this is just with 2 years, let's say. And then throughout your story, maybe you'll have something about the year, or like maybe you'll have a link to a historical event or a link to something that you wrote about. So in the year of, I don't know, 1992, a child was born, or I guess 1992 is a bit like, let's say 1660. A child was born with a prophecy. By 1666, he was able to defeat dragons or something. I'm making stuff up right now. But the dates can be anything. You can also do the same thing with time. And the idea behind that is then you could maybe just highlight certain boxes, like so. And then what would happen would be, since it's a timeline, you're going from, I guess, left to right in our case. This one would be, the first one would be 1660, right? So this is 1, 6, 60, and the other one would be 1, 6, 6, 6. So then on another page, the answer to the code would be 1, 1, 6. Does that kind of make sense? So this is what they call a timeline riddle. I think it's pretty easy to do, and I think it's pretty fun. I guess this is supposed to be a 6. Of course, you can also make it so they have to enter in the numbers here as well, using the text input field if you want to do that. And Angel, I don't think we covered the text input, did we? I don't recall. Since we were doing the personality test, we didn't cover it. So I'm going to cover it really quick so you could just have an idea of how to use it, because I think it's super fun. But basically, the text field allows you to do all sorts of cool stuff. And Supernova loves the text input field, because this is where you can do everything from asking the reader for their name to putting in things for a code. And you can change the placeholder text to be like, what is the secret code? And I highly recommend you take a look at how to use a text variable this tutorial, because then you'll be able to follow along yourself. So, okay, so Supernova's a pro. We need text input. We need what else? We need this lovely event. We haven't looked at it yet today or last week, but it's on text input. And on text input triggers every time we press the enter button or we exit the text field. So on text input, then I want to, well, in our case, we need to have a variable because we're going to store this information somewhere. So we're going to use a text variable in our case. And we're going to call this code. Or I guess it should be more specific. Player answer. So it's the player answer. So then we want to use variable equals text object. So this, by connecting these 3 blocks together, it basically stores whatever is inside of the text input in your variable. So hold on, let me put the curly brackets here so you can take a look. Why can I not have curly brackets? I can't type anything. Struggle is real. Why can't I type anything? My computer is breaking on me. I can type stuff. I can't type anything. Let me reload. Sometimes I have like problems with my keyboard when it changes languages on me because I hit the wrong buttons and then it won't type things properly for me. Okay, so I'm here and we have, there we go. Okay, secret code. What is the secret code? Or it's player answer. Player answer. Okay, so player answer is here. Make sure everything is right on the other side. Player answer. On text input, I want to set this, whatever's inside here, equal to player answer, and I'm going to preview. And code. Hello. So let's see what's going on. Player answer. I think this is kind of funky. It doesn't seem to be looking proper, like the right thing. Okay, let's try again. Enter in your code. There we go. So whenever I enter in like Nicole, Supernova, Angel, and we can reference this variable wherever we want. So then afterwards, the logic is we want to use a logic block. We want to compare the text. So we compare text player answer to what was the code? 1116. And if it's exactly 116, then we can do something. We can say, hooray, you got it right. So how's school for you guys? It sucks. Why does school suck? Most people seem to be in in remote learning right now. Online program sucks. But you're online here too, so I suck. Is that what it is? Just kidding. Okay, so what are some things that you would say Apex learning sucks? I don't know what Apex learning is. Hooray, you got it right. So that's basically what the text input field is. It's super useful and it's super wonderful. Someone seems to have a lot of hate towards this learning program. So why do you hate this learning program so much? 50 assignments per week? Are they fun? Or are they boring? Like worksheets? Over and over again? Well, I told you computers are stupid. If the computer is the one grading it, then why do you have so many assignments? The coders are stupid. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't really like when computers grade things because can't do too much with that. Uh, your math teacher likes you to work a lot, so there's a lot of worksheets for your math teacher. What about English? Get your English teacher to use elementary to write stories, and then boom. You won't need to do that many worksheets anymore. It'll just be one big project. College and career prep in 6th grade? Seriously? Wow. Okay. It was the best one. I think psychology is a really interesting subject. Music appreciation. You have some nice classes there. Like when I was in 6th grade, I don't even know what I even did. I think we had like art, but like it was on the half day on the Friday. Something like that. So if you had like, let's say, top tips for teachers, what would they be to help your learning experience be better? What kind of advice would you give? Delete the past assignments. Are you using Google Class? Schoolology? Never heard of home ed. Oh, it's like we called it home ec when I was in school. It's like home economics is what it was. You did like baking and sewing and things like that. Oh, by the way, if you like drawing, you guys will probably be in school, but at 2 p.m. When is it? It'll be on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be having a session with Len Smith, the creator of Toontown. He previously worked at Disney, obviously, for Toontown and also some other stuff. So if you want to make art for elementary, then go ahead and submit some to me, and I can put them up with your profile. Okay? They need to be PNG, though, with a transparent background. Or backgrounds. So Len Smith is available on the 18th. We're doing an event. I haven't made the poster yet for it, but it's happening. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on the social media pages. I might also email out to all of you probably, so you can see that, and then you can try to be there. I think we'll have some interesting challenges for you guys. But he's a great guy. I mean, he's literally created movies that I grew up on, and like he's worked on like Winnie the Pooh, like Little Mermaid, things like that. Pretty awesome. And created all sorts of stuff, and he still draws every single day and is super creative. So he'll be talking about the creative process and things like that. And yeah, I'll let you guys go. Do you have any questions at this time? Nope, you're good. Okay. Food? Yeah, you should go eat. That's what I think you should do. You should go eat. Food is good. Yeah, go eat. And try to eat regularly. It's healthier. Okay, well, see you guys next time, and peace out. Ciao, bye bye. I'll probably have something prepared for next week, so see y'all. Bye byes.